What is going on, guys? We are back with another episode of our Pokemon TCG Pocket, and in today's episode, guys, we're looking at both Leafeon and Glaceon EX, and I think these cards are very, very cool. So, starting off with Leafeon, Leafeon is a 140 Stage 1 Pokemon that evolves from Eevee, as we all know. With 140 HP, which is sort of kind of right in line with the rest of what the current meta's basic HP is, right? Arceus 140, Darkrai's 140, Magnezone's 140. Like there's a lot of things hovering in the 140, 150 range. And that actually puts Solar Beam in a pretty good spot. It two shots them all, right? Because 7 plus 7 is 14. So it puts it in a really, really interesting spot. It two shots everything. It's sort of kind of this mixture of being a stage 1. People have been comparing it a lot to like Superior, like a little bit quicker Superior, but you know, it's an EX Pokemon. But what it also is that because it can accelerate the energy for itself, it's actually a turn 2 consistently hitting heads Exeggutor. And that's very, very interesting because now it plays kind of both roles in what the Celebi Exeggutor deck used to be. Because it's also running only one grass energy that it can put onto itself with its ability, and the rest are colorless. Leafeon in particular is actually able to be run in decks not in grass decks whatsoever. And so that makes Leafeon in particularly very, very interesting. Now, the other Pokemon we're talking about today is Glaceon, and Glaceon is also very unique because Glaceon's snowy terrain ability is effectively hail in the Pokemon TCG, which is very, very cool because it's the first Pokemon with that ability, and it does basically the checkup screen is like when you're flipping coins for like your Snorlax to wake up and things like that, like with like the new Snorlax, for example. So it's happening at the end of every turn, and that means that really Freezing Wind actually does 100 and then 10 on your opponent's turn, which is kind of cool. So a little bit more power, but you do have to rock out with water energy. So I have 3 decks for you today. We have one that kind of mixes Glaceon and Leafeon, and then we kind of have one that kind of focuses around one. So the first one that I have here is, like I said, with that Celebi deck. This is the alternative to running Exeggutor, basically. The lineup really doesn't change in terms of cards. You can run X Speed now because, both Celebi and Leafeon are 1 retreat costs, which means that you're kind of giving up a little bit less. You're a little bit less reliant on having to give up the Exeggutor. So you actually have a little bit more momentum that way. 2 giant capes gives you the most HP possible. Again, you're running a full HP or full EX lineup, and so you want that health. Erica's there. We're actually rocking a Sabrina and a Cyrus. 1 communication. I really like having them in 1 stage decks as well. And so this deck really just its goal is to keep Leafeon and Celebi alive, and then Leafeon can continue to power up Celebi. You only have the 1 Celebi, so it is your least likely lead option. And then yeah, you're just rocking it with Eevee Leafeon and trying to do the most. So I like this one. This one feels a little bit better than Exeggutor now. I think Exeggutor actually fits better in the Carnivine Arceus builds now. But deck number 2 that I have here is this Yanmega Leafeon Glaceon triple team combo. So Yanmega and Yanma both use colorless energy. So does Eevee. And so if you end up having Leafeon, you can actually put the 1 leaf energy that you need for Leafeon to be successful. And if you actually get Glaceon, we're actually only using water energy in this deck. And so the Glaceon is there, so that you do have that other option. And the really cool part about it is that, like, grass is weak to fire, and fire is weak to water. And so Glaceon actually can be this, like, counter Pokemon to what grass is weak to, while still having it in the deck. Again, everything's a 1 retreat cost, so X speed works really, really nicely. You still want the capes, but this deck, because you're actually rocking with water energy, and almost all of your Pokemon are still grass types, Erica still works wonders in this deck. And Irida, or Irida, sorry, she also is available in the deck, and actually that works as a Glaceon healing, but it also still heals all your grass types. So this deck actually has 4 different cards that heal for 40 to 50 damage, which is just insane for this. So that's sort of kind of what I've kind of done as like a mixture deck. I actually think there are definitely more ways you could add Leafeon into other decks as well. But I think Glaceon worked extremely well in this particular one. And then the third deck, this one is pretty much a Glaceon deck for the most part, but it does focus around Palkia as another late game cleaner. So basically you're running the 2 Manaphy's. The Manaphy's make it more consistent in general, because you can't really rely on the Misty heads all the time. You actually could drop Misty altogether in this, or just one if you wanted to. Vaporeon was the old partner for Palkia in the last format. It used to be 2 Manaphy's, 2 Vaporeons, 2 Palkias, and then maybe like an Articuno is what people were kind of rocking out with. Basically, I've just switched it around, so we have 1 Vaporeon and 2 Glaceons, and this really allows Manaphy to have 2 really strong attackers that it can pump up. And then really the rest of this is a pretty standard set. Irida is there for healing. Cyrus is there because Palkia can punish the bench. And Glaceon also, you know, chips something, so maybe they switch out. 2 Leafs, because this isn't more of a 2 retreat cost deck. A Vaporeon, Palkia are both 2 retreat costs, so you want to have a little bit more of that. 2 Misties, this ensures that if you end up with a Palkia lead or a Glaceon lead, that you still have the option to be able to get that energy moving quickly. And then really, it's a pretty standard deck. So those are 3 decks that we're rocking out with today. Let me know what you think about them in the comment section down below, and if there's anything you would kind of change about them. But let's hop into a first game. I'm going to probably try to get 1 game with each one. So maybe let's start off with this water deck here to start. Alright, game number 1 against Akali. Let's see what we can do here. We have our Palkia and Manaphy deck. Not the best start, but an okay one. The biggest question... I guess I'm going to save the Misty till I really need it later. Okay, so Manaphy, Palkia. So we're kind of actually playing mirror matchup deck. Except I'm going first, which actually puts me at a major disadvantage. Okay. So I get Palkia, I get Eevee. It actually gives me a little bit of flexibility to not have to play them down right now. I want to try to avoid a Sabrina, if that's actually something that people are playing in this still. But yeah, the fact that you get first energy and get to put the energy on this, unfortunately, we're on the back foot here. But the Misty could potentially make up for it. Okay, so let's play these out. I'm gonna play the Misty out as well. If I get Misty on Palkia and it goes well, it does not. Okay, so this will give me at least some type of advantage potentially moving forward here. All of my Pokemon have energy on them now, so I can use Irida as effectively as possible. I do have Leaf, so that if... Okay, they're playing Staryu. Okay, so I'm going to be a turn behind on this Palkia. There's nothing I can do about it. The Misty was supposed to be my out to that. I'm going to just keep Oceanic Gifting, though. Okay, so this turn coming up, I can... If you want to put in Palkia, I can revenge kill Palkia as well. But they have Starmie, and Starmie is going to be a bit of an issue for me. Starmie's gonna be able to knock out anything, really. And they put the energy onto this. Okay, so they're actually gonna stall out a turn on it. I actually think that I want to, in a way, pick up the first KO. So I'm actually going to, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Retreat, get this out. Glaceon up. Pick up this KO. I am going to play the Eevee though as well. And then I'm going to Freezing Wind. Knock out the Manaphy. Something has to switch in, take 10 damage. It actually forces Palkia to come in. And then Palkia loses all of its energy if it wants the KO, and I revenge it with my Palkia. I think that's the way that I gotta go about this. And it doesn't really matter, no matter what my opponent does. You can't send in Starmie because Palkia just comes in. So I think that worked out as about as good as possible. If they Sabrina, I just put in whatever. Okay, there's 6 energy. But I do think this is over for them. If they attack the Glaceon, they do lose. And if they don't attack the Glaceon, they still lose. Okay. So, sounds good. Pick up your 2 points. I come in with Palkia, and that's GG. Okay, so I was a little bit worried about the first energy advantage, but we did get it. And that is GG's Dimensional Storm, and we take those. So let's hop into game number 2 and see what we can do. All right, game number 2 here versus fighting. Fighting's what we're up against. We're going second against a Gibble. Okay. But this is either old Gibble or new Gibble. If this is old Gibble, they need 2 energy types, which gives me a little bit better opportunity here. I'm able to get Leafeon online pretty quickly though, and this actually ends up being a pretty good matchup. What I actually really love about this in particular though is that you can kind of hide that you're a grass deck right now, which is kind of cool. Because you're only playing water energy, right? So like you're just kind of like, yep, let me have them. But the moment we can press, I don't have to worry about fire deck potentially in this either, which is kind of nice. Okay. There's a cape. Okay, this is Aerodactyl Garchomp. Is there a way that I can try to punish this at all? Probably not, right? Okay, there's a second Leafeon. We just continue a step here. Try to see if we can do a little bit of damage, and we do nothing, which is fine. Ish. If you evolve on Curve, unfortunately you're gonna do 50, which is gonna be really annoying. But I'll be able to, Erica. And has Aerodactyl, and I literally can't do anything. Holy shit, bro. Okay. I think this really does slow me down. This slows me down a ton. I lose going first energy advantage. I pretty much gave them a Yanma. If they evolve on curve, I'm completely done. But I do get Leafeon next turn, and I am a threat to them. Okay, so they don't evolve on curve. It gives me some opportunity of life. And actually, I'm gonna really punish them here now. Okay, so temporary setback. Almost went on tilt for a second. Okay. Get this on here. Get you off my screen. And there we go. So you do live on 1, which is fine, but Garchomp isn't going to appreciate that. If you do have Garchomp, though, you still take out Yanma. I'm still in trouble regardless, but it might have actually been worth evolving. It's a complete misplay if they evolve. Okay, they're not going to evolve. They're going to do 80. Okay, so they're going to do 80. So if they're going to do 80, I need to find a way. Tape this. Probably even just need to Erica here. Which gives me a couple turns. I can Yanmega. Okay, do this. Solar Beam here. Put pressure on both my opponent's Pokemon. I knock you out next turn, you don't knock me out. Okay, they're gonna communicate, trying to get a Garchomp. If they get Garchomp, they come in and do like 100 next turn. I probably have enough damage on them that I do KO them if they can. Wait! They were the multi-one the whole time? They had me so fooled. What? Okay. Hold up a minute. That is some wild stuff. They just never captured a water energy. Okay. Seriously? Okay, we just Solar Beam here. Get this Aerodactyl out of here. Okay, this is gonna be a W, but like, what? Why? I don't understand. 70? Like, and then they're getting all water energy. Like, what? What? I'm assuming this has to be Sabrina. They don't even have... Okay. I mean... I seriously don't know what just happened here. Like, this genuinely feels like an absolute cluster. But, yeah. So we're gonna win that game. After I almost went full tilt on it because I was like, are you for real? Like... Yeah. Saucy Emu. Good game. Let's hop into game number 3. Alright, game number 3. We're going up against a Mewtwo icon with the Celebi logo, and we're playing with Celebi this one. So let's see what we can do against this really established gentleman. And we're going against fighting. Okay, so get the Eevee, which is nice. I'm going to need this Reggie. Okay, Reggie with Dust Noir is interesting, actually. We get Leafeon. So that's pretty good, all things considering, honestly. There's not really too much else that I could have really hoped for out of that. So I got Leafeon, which is what I needed. I got a backup Eevee. My opponent's really in no position to be able to switch out of anything anytime soon. And I'm going to be able to do a ton to you. Let's do this. And just get going here. And I'm just going to play this Professor's Research. Get a second Leafeon, which means that I should be playing this first EV down. And, yeah. That's all we need to do this turn. Okay, so they're going to cape here. They are going to potentially be able to do something to me, which is going to suck, but... here's a Celebi as well. Okay, so I think... I mean, I got all my Pokemon out, right? So, like, I'm not super concerned about this. I guess the answer is probably to put the one energy onto here for right now. Force Breath. To get this Leafeon going, and then I can start getting Celebi going after that. You're gonna take 20 resist out of this, but... yeah, 20 resist, so basically you just lose a super effective damage. But I do knock you out next turn. No, I don't, because of Celebi. So... actually, I really don't now because of Celebi. So, 100 damage here is going to suck when it happens. But that's okay. It's going to be close because I can potentially get into things with this because... I think if I just stall this out, I'm not really sure if my opponent can actually do a ton if Celebi just gets going. Like, yes, you'll do 100, right? But unless you get Dust Noir right now, I don't think you heal enough back. I do have a second Leafeon chilling here. Oh, I guess you do heal enough back. Okay. But you don't pick up a KO, which is like a big deal. Yeah. So if I cape, right? Erica. 110. I can even potion back up just to ensure it. So that way their Giovanni doesn't get me. And then I can keep going for this. And then I Solar Beam. At some point you run out of steam. I mean, they're getting unlucky not being able to top deck the Dust Noir, but they are gonna have to give up all of their HP to do this. Regirock at 120. Is it 140 for Dust Noir? I think it was 140. Wow, they still haven't gotten it? Wow. They didn't get it. That's insane. My opponent concedes, and that is GG's to my opponent. That game could have gone so much differently. They got the war, like they had only like 5 cards left in their deck left. That's crazy. That would have been a way closer game. But I do think at the end of it all, though, like I had the second Leafeon kind of ready to go, and Celebi with like a bunch of energy, I think we had a shot. So, anyways, that's kind of sort of how to play all three of these decks. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Yeah, we'll see what we can do in the next